Hi guys, and welcome back. This is my black screen series, and this is episode 2 of 52 in the second week of 2024. Just starting the second week, so this is my second weekly podcast, black screen podcast. Anyway, just like when I did the first podcast, we've got some rain happening. It's not crazy rain, but yeah, we're still getting the rain even since the last podcast, or the last episode. Got to stop calling them podcasts because they technically have a picture, it's just a black screen. And but yeah, they probably could also technically be called a podcast because it's just talking, no actual camera work going on. If you turn the camera off versus putting it against something and to block out all light, what's the difference between an audio versus hiding the camera on, yeah. Anyway, I'm dribbling on. So I said in my last episode that I was hooking up with a counsellor and or therapist or psychologist or psychiatrist. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm hooked up with. But I had that phone call, and I got another phone call today, but the call dropped out. That was a follow-up call from the people that arranged that counselling session. I've got another 5 sessions, or 4 sessions. There's 5 sessions with an option to another 5. So it's 10 free sessions provided by the government, but you've got to do something or other to unlock the second 5. Anyway, so I'm working towards that. And the first session was basically an hour of us getting to know each other. Yeah, so me trying to give a bit of a rundown of my life. Yeah, didn't get into it too much, but yeah, started to talk about my depression, my autism, my abuse as a child. So I don't know if I've mentioned that on this channel or in the last, I can't even remember if I mentioned it in the last episode, but I was abused and removed from my family for about a year when I was about 11, turning 12 maybe, I don't know. A year away anyway, and I only saw my parents on the weekend, and it felt like I was being punished, right? Like I'd done something wrong, right? But I hadn't done anything wrong. I was being removed from my family for my protection and for therapy. So, because I was being abused. So, firstly, they wanted to find out all about the abuse and find out all the triggers and find out why I was getting smacked, basically, or pretty much flogged. Yeah, I mean, if I haven't mentioned in the last episode, or if I haven't mentioned on this channel how this all came to be, it was decent enough assault, and it was prolonged as well. So yeah, physical assault, not sexual, and it was by my dad. Yeah, as an adult, I had someone question me, as a young adult, asking, what did your mother do? I said, well, she didn't hit me, unless, Dad wasn't around and I pissed her off and she'd throw a brush at me and it'd break. Often it'd miss me and hit the wall and break. Yeah, I wasn't that scared of her. I was more scared of her putting me into my father and then him dealing with me. Look off. So, Um, the yeah, I don't know. I just got this wave of emotion, man. I'm okay. Not like I'm going to cry or anything. But I am. Yeah, just this is a little triggering talking about it. And I have done it a few times with different people and therapists. So yeah, and I've talked through the story in my head from beginning to end over and over again, trying to understand it, trying to explain it in my head and rationalize things, or yeah, just get a feel for what actually went on, because I was very young. Anyway, so after a year of being separated from my family, and only seeing them pretty much on weekends and school holidays, well, we were reunited. I mean, not like we hadn't seen each other that whole time. Like I said, I was home on weekend and holidays. But yeah, so, and you know, instead of going home for the weekend, I was going home for good all of a sudden. So yeah, that was great. And I got spoilt when I got home, but that was very short-lived. It's like my dad decided to shower me with gifts, buy me all sorts of things. Yeah, he'd done wrong, he'd messed up. And that wasn't the only time he messed up. He messed up a few times, pretty badly too. Yet, he's the hero in my family. How funny is that? My sister so loves her dad. Don't seem to care about me though. But that's another topic. Anyway, so yeah, my depression is a pretty constant thing. It really messes me up at times. I haven't had a great week with the depression, I will be honest. It hasn't been terrible, but it hasn't been great. So yeah, probably this second week of the year, not quite as good as the first week. My mood's not quite as good, although it should be. It should be just as good, maybe even a little bit better. Nothing's going wrong, you know. It's like things are pretty stable in my life at the moment. And yeah, so, and I'm excited about moving through therapy and moving through my depression, and I'm excited about this black screen series as well. So anyway, I'm not sure what I want to go on to next. Maybe PTSD. And before I talk about that, I should talk about my drug use. So I started smoking pot at about, definitely by 15. Yeah, so definitely by the age of 15 I was smoking pot pretty much daily. Well, it started out as a, you know, weekend thing with mates, and then it had spilled over to weekdays, yeah, and pretty much every day smoking weed. And so I stopped about 10 minutes ago, just before I started doing this. No, I haven't stopped. But yeah, so every day pretty much of my life since the age of 15, and I'm 55 now, so that's a solid 40 years of smoking weed. And I'm actually impressed. You know, if I was doing a study on a drug, I would give it the thumbs up with people. I would recommend other people if they were wanting to use some kind of recreational drug, for example, and they weren't sure what. Well, weed's kind of a no-brainer. And anyway, but when I was young, I did a bit more than weed. I moved in, it didn't take all that long before I moved in. I mean, obviously drinking was a thing too. Excessive drinking with mates and stuff like that. But didn't really get right into drinking until I was probably 17, 18. Anyway, so at 15 I was smoking weed with mates. And then, and also at 15, maybe 16, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was around 15. It wasn't long after I'd started smoking pot. Then crystal meth. No, just speed, right? White powder speed, amphetamines, you know, that was a thing. I didn't snort it. I drank it, you know, if it was mixed up with water, or even have powder tipped under my tongue, off a tally-ho paper at times, you know, all sorts of weird things like that. But didn't shoot it up, yet my mates that had introduced me to it. And so eventually they conned me, peer group pressure, they conned me into shooting up. And so then I was a regular speed user and regular cannabis user into my 20s. So yeah, you could probably say 10 years of both of them going like that. I think it was around the age of 21, just after I split up with my wife. So yeah, I got married in 91. So I think I was 21, 22, something like that. And I'd split up with my wife, and the pot and speed were still a thing. And but I was, you know, I was lost. I was looking for, you know, I was questioning life. And yeah, this Christian guy that was really nice just happened to pick me up at the right moment, and I ended up going to his church. So that started my Christianity thing, and it was a big church, Hills Christian Life Centre, it was called back in the day. Now it's known as Hillsong, and it's an international, worldwide known church with churches all around the world and Australia. So I should have said the other way around, Australia and the world. But they're really big, you know, and there was the Brian Houston and his father Frank Houston, the #1 people in the place. You know, Frank was the father that started it up, Brian was the son that took it over. And Frank had some issues. I think it was some inappropriate sexual stuff. I think he might have been guilty of doing something that he shouldn't have with maybe a church member, or you know, some young girl. I'm not sure what the story was. I can't remember. You can look it up if you like. Frank Houston disgrace. Frank Houston guilty or whatever. So anyway, it was found out that, you know, there was a court case and everything, and he was found guilty, and I think he died anyway. I'm not sure if it was before or after he managed to go to jail. I think he might have evaded jail and died. But anyway, so then his son Brian Houston took over, and that was well, he didn't take over because of the court case. He just took over because his dad was getting older, and he was now old enough. I mean, Brian was now old enough, so his father wanted to retire. And yeah, so anyway, I was going there, and I actually stopped taking all drugs. I stopped smoking cigarettes even at one stage. But that was kind of a fair way into my church journey. I think I went there for about a year. Not sure really. But I was right into it, like going to every church service, attending small groups and prayer groups, and men's bloody, what they have, men's breakfasts, they had social groups, there's all sorts of things going on. So I was heavily involved. I was trying to get people to come to church. Oh, I was also doing Bible study. I was a friggin' Jesus freak, and proud of it. I didn't see the. I saw people that were non-Christians as stupid, naive. They hadn't been exposed to the Bible properly, haven't actually read it, don't understand what's going on. And even the majority of Christians that I bumped into, same sort of thing. You don't understand the Bible. You might have read it, or you might have read some of it, but you don't understand it, and you have no idea what's going on, and your faith is all wrong. Your worship all wrong. You know, all sorts of. I was so critical about other faiths and other religions, and that even started to turn internally into my own church. I started seeing the hypocrisy in my church. Then I just decided to. Well, actually, I started going to other churches because I had a girlfriend at the time, and both of us still wanted to go to church, but we're getting sick of Hillsong. So we both started to look for other churches, and so yeah, we'd spend 1 week at one church and next week at another church, and yeah, it went on and on. We might go back to some churches sometimes, but on the most part, we did keep busy. We did keep the church life active, but it wasn't really so much Hillsong. We did go back to Hillsong for special events and things, and concerts, and anytime someone special was turning up to the church. So we hadn't given up on Hillsong, but we were no longer regular attendees. Anyway, so what happened next? Then I left both her and stopped going to church, period, and decided I'd started smoking pot again. Hadn't got back into the speed, but I decided I wanted to actually really learn the Bible, and that the influence of church was screwing my beliefs, and I had to do this alone. I had to study by myself. I had to get concordances, study guides, different versions of the Bible, dictionaries, and yeah, thesauruses, all sorts of crap I had, and spent a lot of money on it. You know, like I bought one Bible, a leather-bound Bible. It was $99. It was a New King James Ultra Slim. I remember it, $99. Someone stole it like a week or two later, and I bought it again. So yeah, like the exact same Bible. And I actually had that Bible 3 times, and actually the second time someone blessed me with it. Oh, God's put it on my heart to just buy this for you because someone took your Bible. I'm like, oh wow, thanks God. No, God didn't do anything. These people just thought it'd be a nice thing, and they threw God into the picture. They got no proof of God. Anyway, so yeah, slowly the Bible revealed itself as there's too much that's changed, there's too much inconsistency. The Bible contradicts itself. For example, if God's the same yesterday, today and forever, right? There's so many different things. It doesn't matter which angle you pick. But yeah, this is just one. If it's the same throughout history, if God's a constant and is the only constant, how do the rules that he push on, how do the rules that he expects society to adhere to be a Christian or to be part of his mob, how do those rules happen to change? So the New Testament came along and changed everything, you know, and that just messed with my head. I'm like, what's the go, God? You just couldn't get it right first up, and you had to have another crack. And no, it's people. It's all put together by people. There is no God. I can assure you, there is no God. You do not have to fear God when you die. You won't go to hell. You will not go to heaven either. When you die, it's going to be exactly like it was before you were born. If you ask yourself, what was it like before I was born? How much of that can I remember? Well, you can't, unless you're a liar. Unless you're a liar, or you're deluded, or you've got some sort of weird thing going on in your head where you've somehow been influenced into thinking that you're a pharaoh from the past, or I don't know, there's all sorts of crap that people come out with. But yeah, pretty much, before you were born, you weren't anything, you know. And, you know, the whole something from nothing thing too is another thing. But yeah, you weren't anything. You spread just like a seed would, or a flower would, or a colony of ants or bees or animals, you know. You're just an organism. And it's just selective genetics, you know, that cause you and I to be here at this point. Who knows? You might be listening to this many years down the track when I'm no longer here to be at this point, but theoretically I'm here in voice. I could have died years ago and you're listening to this right now. That's a funny thought, isn't it? You're recording something and you're thinking that people are going to be listening to it. Might die next week, and years later people have been listening to it. It might go viral after I die. That'd be great, wouldn't it? No, I'd rather it be viral while I'm alive. But no, actually I don't really need anything viral at the moment because nothing is monetised. And the rain's getting harder and harder and making it harder to talk, so I'm not going to be talking much longer. But so anyway, why did I get into the drugs? Oh, that's right, there was a topic I wanted to get onto, and that was, and I had to get on the drugs first. I had to explain the drugs. God, I've lost the plot. Anyway, you guys will work it out in the next episode, I'm sure, or I'll remember in a minute, I don't know. I can pause. Right, I just paused for a minute to remember. I had to clear my head. This rain's really distracted me. Anyway, so I remembered it's anxiety that I want to get onto, and I had to talk about my drug use first because they're linked. Don't try and deny it. Anyone that's on drugs and has anxiety, your drug use will have contributed or is contributing to your anxiety. Sorry, it's just a matter of fact. Yes, there are certain drugs that can help you with anxiety, but on the most part, most drugs don't help. What helps with anxiety is moving through your issues. I'll tell you now, move through your issues. Do not stand still and stagnant and sit on things. You need to move through your issues, and that's what I'm trying to do myself. So move through your issues is some of my biggest advice for people. You can't just accept that things are messed up and be happy about it. You can't accept that you're unhappy and be happy about being unhappy because you don't know of any other way. Or you don't see yourself ever being happy. You don't see, you've got this problem in your life. Let's say you were raped as a child. Let's say you killed someone when you were young. And you went to jail for 5 years when you were young, you know. Let's say you bashed your father when you were 15 or 17 one night when you were drunk, or just hormones going crazy, and he triggered you and you bashed him and put him in hospital, and your family disintegrated after that and you feel guilty. You can't change all these things, right? It doesn't matter. You will be sad about it, and you can't do anything about that. You should allow yourself to be sad. But at the same time, you need to move forward. You can't sit still. You can't let it beat you. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what other people say either. You are your person. You are the only one that's going through this journey. No one's going through it for you. No one can go... They can go through it with you to a certain degree, I can say that, but no one's going to do it for you, and you have to move through your own shit. You can't sit still. I've done it myself. I've sat on shit, and it doesn't help. You really need to move through problems. Problems are problems because we hang on to them, right? So you can't hang on to problems. You have to find a way forward. You have to move through it. You have to get therapy, you have to talk to people, you have to study, you have to analyse, write lists, do what I'm doing here. Podcast, talk it out to the world if you want. But yeah, you've got to get through it. You've got to find a way to get through it. You can't just be a mess and be okay with it, alright? I understand, like, there's people that are born with disabilities or have had an accident and now they're in a wheelchair, for example. You know, born, you've never been able to walk. Or had an accident, never been able to walk since, right? Now you think, oh, my life's over. No, it's not. There's so many people that have moved forward in situations like that. So yeah, if I can encourage people to follow my lead here, I'm nowhere near where I should be, but I'm definitely not where I could be, which is probably in a worse position. I can kind of assure you of that part. I could really be messed up. I could allow myself to really be messed up with my issues, but I'm trying the opposite of that. I'm trying to move out of them. I'm trying to move forward. I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to work towards happiness. And yeah, anyway, this is enough for this episode. I'm just gonna, yeah, under half an hour, that's enough. I just want to let you all know that I really appreciate you here. Even if there's only a handful of you, 3, 4 or 5 people, I don't care. But yeah, I really appreciate the people that listen to this all the way through. And if you do listen to this all the way through, can you just comment below weed? No, pot. Let's use the word pot, P-O-T, right? Comment in the comment section, pot, so I know that you've listened to the whole thing. All right, because it really means a lot to me that people can hear my crap. You are my therapy session, guys. So, you know, the more people that write, that let me know that, you know. Okay, sorry about that. Camera cut out. But yeah, I just want you all to know that I really appreciate you listening to this right through, and not just clicking off because I get all muddled up, or I'm talking crap, or I'm going around in circles. You want to hear what's happening, you know, so you're hanging on to the end, and I really appreciate that. And that means that you'll be here for the next episode, which, you know, that gives me some reassurance too, that next time I upload after this, that I'm talking to people, not just talking to myself in a camera, and no one's going to ever watch it or listen to it. But yeah, so anyway, I really want you to all know that I appreciate you. Comment P-O-T, pot, down below in the comment section. Hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't like this video, you can apparently if you hit the thumbs down button, right? Oh, no. That's one way of doing it, yeah, but the easiest way is if you just hit the thumbs up button 3 times. It sends a message to YouTube saying that this, you know, this sort of stuff isn't you, and you probably won't hear from me again after that, or you might I might get reprimanded by YouTube and they might tell me to change things up a bit. We'll see what happens. But yeah, 3 thumbs up, or just 1. Either way, whichever one you want to choose, it's up to you. I'm not going to push you either way. You can give me a thumbs up. You can complain by hitting it 3 times. I don't mind that either. But comment down below. Please subscribe, turn the notifications bell on, and hang out for next week. So next week I'm going to try and have a bit more structure, and it might be a long episode, about an hour, maybe more. So yeah, expect it to be somewhere between half an hour and an hour, I'm guessing, as where this episode's only just under an hour, just under half an hour, I think. So anyway, yeah, really appreciate it, guys. Thanks for your support. Stick around for episode 3 next week, and go through my channel and watch some of my other stuff that doesn't have a black screen. Some of my shorts, some of my other longer videos. Watch some of that, because yeah, I'm trying to put out more and more content, and yeah, I'm trying to get more exposure. I'm just trying to get busy on YouTube, because I do like YouTube. You guys are cool. Anyway, cheers guys. Love your stuff. Bye.